So before I get into this video and talking about what it says in the title, I do want to say that this video isn't going to be for everybody. It's not something that everybody who's watching particularly needs to hear. It's just something that I want to share with you guys that might help, and I think it'll definitely be beneficial to the people who, might need it. Anyway, I was talking to a friend a couple of days ago, and I've been friends with this person for a long time. I'm not going to say any names or anything like that, but we've been friends for a while, probably almost 2 years. And he's someone I met on Instagram. We've never actually met, but he's one of the nicest people I know. I really love you, dude. But anyway, uh, we were talking about depression and how it kind of messes with you when you're young and you start realizing all these changes in the world are occurring mostly after high school. That's when it happens to some. And why I'm talking about this is because I know there are a lot of people who can relate to it. I myself, and I'm going to use me as the example for this video, but we were talking about that, and he was telling me how he didn't know after graduation what to do. He was just kind of going through life, going with the flow. And I told him, I was like, man, I know where you're coming from. I was going through that same thing when I actually it started when I reached my senior year. A lot was changing, a whole lot was changing about me personally and just other things around me. I realized that the people I was hanging with weren't the people who were going to be there for the rest of my life. And one thing that I need to tell all of you is that make sure you know who your real friends are. Don't spend all this time trying to impress or befriend people who aren't going to be there for you when you need them the most. And that's what I did. I was with people who weren't doing anything for me. I was getting in trouble and doing a lot of things I shouldn't have been doing. I don't want to get into it. But my senior year, the last year of high school, I started realizing a whole lot. I got probably smarter than I had ever been out of nowhere. It just happened. I don't know why. But I realized that those people weren't going to be there for me. So I completely got rid of them. I would say hey to them, how you doing, maybe talk a couple of minutes every day, but I wasn't trying to stay in that circle. And that's something you got to realize. You can't stay in the circle with people who aren't going to do what you're willing to do for them. You got to know who to hang around and who not to hang around. These people were troublemakers, and they say you are who you run with. I don't believe that completely, but you do run the risk of doing what they're doing if you're around them that much. But anyway, I got rid of all those people, and I don't want to make this video saying, oh, well, just go cut off every one of your friends. That's not what it's about. But if you know anything about senior year, it's the last year. So the past 3 years, all the people who you've been friends with are the people who you'll probably be talking to the most. Me being who I was, cutting those people off, I had nobody. I was alone. And I was trying to make a whole different circle of friends, and it just didn't work for me. It was the hardest thing I'd ever done. And your senior year is probably the year you're supposed to have the most fun in high school because you're getting ready to go away. The teachers are somewhat on your side, and you have all these people in your circle inviting you to events and things like that, prom, all those type of things. But I had nobody. And this video isn't to make anybody feel sorry for me or anything. It's just like I'm saying, I'm trying to let out personal experiences so you guys will understand the outcome. But anyway, back to the story. I was alone all that time, my whole year, and a lot about me changed, a whole lot. Because before then, I was a really good, I guess, socialist. I was really good with people, and being alone for all that time, it changed me quite a bit. And this led all the way up until college, actually. When I turned 19, I was alone. I had maybe one friend, and I talked to her all the time, but that was about it. And it changed me completely. My whole personality, everything. And when I got into a circle to where I could meet new people, it was like I was socially awkward. And it's still with me a little bit, I guess. I'm a whole lot better than I was, but it was my own fault in a way, but I did learn from it. But anyway, on to college. During all that time, I was by myself, and I was constantly wondering, okay, well, what am I here to do? what is it that I want? What is it that I'm trying to achieve? I'm going to college, but do I really want to do this? And this is for people who are confused in life, who just don't know where you're going to go at the time. Just know that it's not the end of the world because you don't know. Now, me being who I am, I'm not exactly where I want to be. And when I say that, I mean, it's not like I have everything I want to have, but I am in a very committed relationship, and that's helped me to grow a whole lot more. That's probably what keeps me holding on. But it wasn't until, and this is going to sound crazy because I'm a product of my childhood. That's how I see myself now, but I wasn't thinking about it. I used to watch anime growing up all the time. They were all my favorite shows, you know, Rurouni Kenshin, Dragon Ball Z, Zatch Bell, anything that came on Toonami. I pretty much loved it, all of it. And when I got to high school, I wasn't thinking about anime or anything like that. I didn't really watch it. I still love Dragon Ball Z, but if you asked me anything about anime, that's all I could have told you. It was Dragon Ball Z and maybe a few action animes, but it started with Soul Eater. I was watching it with my cousin when it came on TV, and I fell in love with it, bought the show, and I got to hanging around him quite a bit and got me back into anime a whole lot. And that's when it realized that that was what made me happy. And it probably sounds weird, but it makes me happy to watch it. And that was when I branched out. I started watching so much other stuff, so much different than what I was watching when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was strictly action anime. And one thing people don't understand about me is why I like some of the shows I like. Yeah, while I say anime did do a lot for me and it made me happy, which is true, it made me pretty happy. It didn't, kind of fill the void of some of the things that I wanted it to fill. And so I was just constantly going on, and I was doing a whole lot better. Like I said, my relationship was helping me as well. I finally started working. I didn't start working until I want to say I was 19, so I was kind of late, a little bit later than most. But anyway, I was on track to getting my life together, but the years before that, I was just trying to figure myself out, and then it got to the point to where everything was moving at a steady flow. Currently, like now, I guess a little bit, but I'm a little bit better. Like now, everything was moving in a steady flow, and I was still trying to figure out things like, okay, well, where do I want to go from here? Where do I go after this? How am I going to make this happen? And like I said, people wonder why I like some of the types of anime I like because I grew up on action. That was pretty much all it was. That was all I knew. But people wonder why I like animes like this. And the reason I do like these two animes, Haikyuu and Free, if you don't know, the reason I like these animes is because they show you that there's a lot more to life. There was so much that I missed. And Free, when I was in school, I always wanted to do other sports. Like I did track, football, and basketball. Yeah, that's what the common three sports are. I wanted to branch out, but I was so worried about what other people would say. And I will happily admit that I was self-conscious. I don't care. It doesn't bother me now, but I was self-conscious, and I didn't want to be the laughing stock because it was like, oh, well, he swims, or oh, he plays volleyball. I don't even know if they had a men's volleyball team in school anyway, but yeah, I would have done it if I would have watched this. But anyway, back to the point, it shows that there's a whole lot more in life that you could have done. Because, I mean, honestly, looking back now at my high school years, I wish that I would have played tennis. I wish that I would have tried out for the swim team because we had one. I just didn't do it. I stuck with what I was good at. But the reason I'm saying this is because anime actually can help. A lot of people think, for those who don't know, that anime is just for kids and stuff like that. Like, no, it's not. Actually, I've learned a whole lot that I know from anime characters, and I don't care what anybody says. If you tell me that you watch any action anime like Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Naruto, and you haven't learned anything from the main characters or even the side awesome characters, you haven't learned anything, there's something wrong, because there's a whole lot of lessons to learn from anime. But back to the main thing that I'm trying to say is, for people who are going through certain things and you don't know a way to get out, there's always someone you can talk to, for one. Always someone. I didn't really express myself about it because before it got too bad, I ended up getting in a relationship, and that made me a whole lot happier than I was. So that did me fine. But for some people, it's not that easy. But just know there's somewhere you can talk to and somewhere you can go. And for me, anime was what saved me. And I just hope that this video is somewhat helpful. I know it's not something that you can just take and just learn a whole lot from, but just know that there is something that can help you before you just give up, and you will find your way. Like I said, I'm not anywhere close to where I want to be in life, but there are some things that have pushed me to do better, and there are some things that help me get back on my feet when I've fallen down. Because seeing people around you who have succeeded and you're not there yet, it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating because you're wondering, okay, am I going to get that far? Can I get that far? How can I get that far? Things like that. But for people who are in this situation, I just want you to know that there is a way that you can do it. And feel free to talk to me about anything. I promise there's no one that I'll shut down. There's no one I want to speak to, because I know what it feels like. And if you can't talk to anybody that's around you, I don't care. Hey, I'm not a counselor, but I'll tell you what I know, and I'll help a lot. But that's really all I got for this video. I just wanted to share this experience with you guys to hope it helps. I'm probably rambling on, so I'll go ahead and stop the video now. But anyway, you guys know who I am. I hope you like the video. I hope you take something from it. And feel free to like, subscribe if you want to. I love you guys. Peace.